Currently, we have 16 joining us. We're going to give it a few more minutes for people to join us. I'm going to answer Carolyn's question and Candace's question. I already have 6 questions. Thank you everyone for joining us. We're going to just 4 minutes to get people into the meeting. Currently we have about 138 participants, but there were close to 200 that had signed up for this meeting. So I just want to give them time. So let's give them about 3 to 4 more minutes to get in. Questions are pouring in. Oh, we're gonna take we are going to be taking questions at the end. We have noticed that people have started putting questions into the Q&A, but there will be an opportunity at the end of this presentation for questions to be asked. A lot of your questions you may be asking, you may receive answers to during the presentation. So just wanted to make you aware of that. Let's give it a few more minutes. Let me see. Let's give it about 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and get started just because I know that we appreciate everyone taking their time and coming in early. We'll probably have people coming in a little bit later, but we'll allow them about 15 minutes. They may be joining us in the middle of the presentation, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So I just wanted to thank everyone for attending this important meeting. We appreciate you taking the time to review with us the US 285 safety improvements. Good evening, my name is Monica Ramey, and I'll be the moderator for this online virtual outreach. I'd like to take just a minute to review the agenda and the format for the virtual presentation this evening. The meeting agenda will consist of 30 minutes of a formal presentation. Then we will allow for questions and feedbacks back for about 30 additional minutes. And then at the end, we will have a survey for you to take to provide us feedback. Virtual meetings are probably as new to you as they are to us. So we have a few housekeeping items to make sure we use our limited time together most efficiently. It has become a best practice to share these guidelines so that the meeting is as productive as possible. We do have over 175 people registered, and currently we have 159 people joining us tonight, and we do very much appreciate your time. We will do our best to manage the amount of people in this virtual environment, but please be patient with us. Let's go ahead and review the guidelines for the meeting tonight. Laurel, can you go ahead and change the slide to the guidelines? Thank you. So this meeting is being called to conduct business on behalf of the Colorado Department of Transportation. Only the hosts and presenters will be sharing their screen during this meeting. Activities that disrupt, delay, or otherwise interfere with the meeting are prohibited. All microphones and video cameras will be muted off. Use the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen to type in your questions. We will attempt to address as many as possible during the discussion portion of this meeting. With so many attending, we may not get to every question, but please send it to us through Q&A or to the project email, which is us285safetyimprovements@gmail.com. We will put together an FAQ based on the questions and place it on the project website. Provide your full name when you're asking a question. Thank you. Please limit your comments to the topic of tonight's meeting. The public will have an opportunity to provide input on the proposed project through an online survey after the meeting. The survey will be open through July 15th. To officially register for your input, please complete the survey. This presentation is being recorded and will be posted on the project website at www.co.gov/projects/US285-improvements. I think that takes care of all our formalities at the moment, so let's get started. This project is focused on two sections on US 285 in the town of Bailey. Following the presentation, we'll open the meeting for questions and comments through the Q&A function. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Laurel Jones. She is the CDOT project manager, and she will be presenting the safety improvements details for this project. Thank you. Laurel, you're on.
All right. Good evening. My name is Laurel Jones. I am a professional engineer with the state of Colorado Department of Transportation. The other members of the project team who are with us this evening are Pepper Whitlock, the traffic operations manager, and Jason Nelson, the traffic program engineer. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So there are several reasons that the 285 safety improvement project is being completed. We want to make the route safer for the traveling public, reduce the risk level for the local residents, improve the flow of traffic through the area, and reduce the number of crashes. The project has two areas of focus. Section A is a half-a-mile stretch within the town of Bailey and will be focused on northbound US 285. Section B is related to both north and southbound lanes between the interchange at County Road 72 and Rosalie Road. It'll be approximately 1 mile in length. So we will discuss the design a little bit later in the presentation. So this project will offer several safety-related benefits. The benefits for Section A include decreasing travel speeds and providing deceleration lanes for the access points through Bailey. For Section B, the project will decrease the possible crash locations at the intersection of US 285 and County Road 43A. The project will reduce rear-end crashes caused by the signal, and the new median barrier will prevent crossover accidents. At the intersection, the free right turns will allow traffic to move in and out of County Road 43A unhindered. The project will allow the length of the northbound acceleration lane at County Road 72 interchange to be increased to meet the latest design standards. So let's start by looking at Section A. Section A has been identified by CDOT as an operational and safety improvement opportunity area. One of the main issues has been speeds reported through town, and public concerns have been received that mirror this report. A similar project was completed for southbound, which has seen positive results. Speeds and the amount of public concerns received related to southbound have been reduced since the completion of that project. The project goals for Section A include providing traffic calming by moving the passing lane outside of town, This should result in reduced speed. We also included providing safe access to local businesses in the goals, as well as improving safety for the local residents. The existing condition in Section A includes 2 northbound lanes with no right turn speed reduction. As mentioned before, southbound was modified last year with a similar design of a single lane with deceleration lanes at access points. So let's discuss the proposed improvements at Section A. Similar to the previous southbound project, the northbound pavement marking will be reconfigured to a single lane with deceleration lanes provided for the access point. This will move the passing area to the north and make it out of town. So let's look at the design. This is an overall view of this current design. As you can see, there is a single lane through town now, deceleration lanes to access points, and the passing lane has been moved further to the north. So let's take a closer look at the decel lanes. Here you can see the decel lanes for each of the main access points. You can also see the single lane through town now. This design allows for an XL lane for vehicles turning north from County Road 68 or Wellington Lake Road. This XL lane turns into a continuous lane, so vehicles coming off of County Road 68 will no longer have to worry about merging with traffic coming through town. That was Section A, so let's look at Section B. The goals for Section B include reducing traffic queuing and delay, as well as improving travel time through the area. Our goals are meant to provide safer access for local residents and reduce crashes while also improving air quality. Currently, the existing condition in Section B includes a signalized intersection at County Road 43 with a single lane for northbound travel and 2 lanes for southbound travel. Vehicles turning south out of the intersection currently have to turn into traffic lanes because the acceleration lane does not currently exist. At the interchange of US 285 and County Road 72, there is an acceleration lane for the northbound ramp that is currently shorter than design standards. So there are several safety concerns for Section B that are mainly related to the signal at County Road 43A. But there is also concerns about the acceleration lane at the County Road 72 interchange. Traffic during the summer months and during winter events have been shown to cause major backups with large queues. At times, these queues have been reported to exceed a mile in length. This also causes long wait times through the area. These issues are mostly caused by the traffic signal. At the County Road 72 interchange, we have received numerous concerns about the short length of the northbound acceleration lane. The current XL lane does not allow vehicles enough time to safely merge. This issue is compounded by the need for the through lanes to merge into a single point around the same area as the ramp merge point. So let's talk about some crash information in the area of Section B. This picture is an example of the accidents in the area of the County Road 43 and US 285 intersections. The dates for these crashes range from 2015 to 2019. The picture shows clusters of crashes within an approximate area. The green dots are property damage and the orange dots are injury crashes. Some known solutions to reduce these crashes include reducing turning movement, reducing queuing, and preventing crossover movement. So let me explain a little bit about the thought process that went into developing the solutions to improve safety in Section B. The intersection of County Road 43A has what are known as conflict points. These conflict points are overlaps in vehicle paths that could lead to a crash. Reducing these conflict points reduces the chance for an accident, improves the flow, improves safety, and is encouraged by the Federal Highway Administration. This figure shows the conflict points for 43A. As you can see, the intersection at 43A currently has a total of 9 conflict points. The type of conflict points depends on the direction the vehicles are traveling. For instance, the crossing conflict points, or the completely filled dots in the center of this figure, these 3, are caused by vehicles crossing or turning into the path of another vehicle. What this figure is meant to show is how many times a vehicle could possibly be involved in an accident. For example, let's say you were traveling south through this intersection on US 285. There would be 4 locations where you could possibly hit another vehicle. Once, when the other vehicle is merging at the exit of County Road 43, 2 times here and here, when vehicles are crossing in front of you, and finally, once when vehicles are merging back into the lane from County Road 43A. The design we have proposed will reduce potential conflict points from 9 down to a single point. As you can see, the only conflict point will be the exiting merge location. This is a huge reduction in the chance of having a crash, making the intersection safer for everyone traveling through it. As part of the safety analysis process, we've also calculated the amount of crashes that the proposed design will reduce in order to ensure that the proposed changes will in fact make the corridor safer. Removal of the signal alone has been indicated to reduce all types of crashes by 76%. So now that you know a little bit about the reasoning behind the design, let's go ahead and look at the proposed improvements for Section B. So this is a high-level view of the project. As you can see, it extends from south of County Road 72, the County Road 72 interchange, and it continues slightly past Rosalie Road. While it isn't shown in this figure, the beginning of the project will restripe the northbound lanes to move the merge point to a single lane prior to the bridge at County Road 72, at the County Road 72 interchange. This will allow us to have room to lengthen the acceleration lane for the northbound ramp and remove the risk of having 2 different lanes merging at similar points. Here you can see the longer ramp acceleration lane. The XL lane has been lengthened to 950 feet. The second southbound lane, which is this lane here, has been turned into a continuous acceleration lane for the right turn from County Road 43A, so there isn't any need for vehicles to merge into the through lane. The median barrier will also start near the interchange at the end of the guardrail. This will prevent any crossover issues through the area. Here's the view of the proposed design at the intersection of US 285 and County Road 43A. The proposed changes include providing unimpeded right turns into and out of County Road 43A with what is known as a free right turn. The free right turns do not require vehicles to stop. The southbound free right will turn into an extended acceleration lane, as we discussed previously, and will remove the need for vehicles to merge. The median barrier will be installed throughout the area to prevent vehicles crossing over to opposing lanes. Removing the signal will ensure that vehicles moving through the area are not required to slow or stop. Now remember, in a previous slide, we indicated that the majority of the crashes in this area were left turns, broadsides, and rear ends. Removing the signal and installing the median barrier helps us reduce all of these crashes. Restricting the intersection to a right in, right out removes the left turns and therefore removes the left turn crashes. Removing the traffic signal also removes the need for vehicles to stop. Without the stop condition, traffic backup will be eliminated, which will in turn reduce their chance of a rear end accident. Another benefit of removing the traffic signal is improvement of air quality in the area, since vehicles are no longer required to stop for extended periods of time. Overall, the proposed design makes the area safer for everyone traveling through or within it. This is a view of the intersection at Rosalie Road. The median barrier will end in this area prior to the intersection at Rosalie. For vehicles turning south onto US 285 from Rosalie, there will now be a two-stage turn, which has been designed for when traffic is heavy. The vehicles will wait until the northbound direction is cleared, then pull into the resting area provided in the median. The turning vehicle then can safely wait for southbound traffic to clear before merging into southbound traffic. Excuse me. The right turn from Rosalie will still have to yield to oncoming traffic, but the space has been designated so that they will be able to get out of traffic on US 285. There will be a small area here for vehicles to wait. Northbound will remain in a stop condition with turning vehicles yielding to oncoming traffic. So now let's discuss how Section B of the project will affect travelers in the area. Drive times, I know, is a concern for many. We have developed two examples to help illustrate the effects of this project. So let's start with the time it would take to get from the south side of County Road 72 interchange to the businesses on the west side of the highway. For northbound traffic wanting to exit at the existing intersection at County Road 43A, it currently takes approximately 2 minutes to travel from the south side of the County Road 73 interchange to the convenience store. Now you have to remember that this does not include any of the possible wait times at the signal for a chance to turn. In heavy traffic, someone wanting to make this turn may have to wait through several signal cycles. So in reality, it would take more than the 2 minutes shown to get to this destination. So now let's look at the proposed route utilizing the existing interchange. It takes approximately 3 minutes to get to the same destination. It's only about a minute longer than the current route. But you have to remember, it is not affected by the signalized intersection, so the signal wait times will have been removed. So here's another example. For anyone wanting to travel northbound, the current drive time from the convenience store to Rosalie Road is approximately 3 minutes. Once again, this does not consider the time required waiting at the signal, which could be several cycles during heavy traffic. Still utilizing the existing interchange for a turnaround point, the proposed route for the same trip, I admit, is a little bit longer. It'll take approximately 5 minutes as opposed to the 3 minutes shown in the current route. Excuse me. But once again, there would not be a traffic signal to wait through because of the free ride. There will not be a traffic signal wait through, and because of the free ride and the continuous acceleration lane, there is no need to merge into the through traffic for anyone wanting to take this route. Overall, it may seem like the new route would require a lot of extra drive time, but it really only adds a few minutes. Taking the existing route and waiting through the signal, especially in heavy traffic times, may actually take longer than the proposed route. This also makes the proposed route more reliable. In my own opinion, a few extra minutes of my time are worth making it to my destination safely. So what does the schedule look like? As of now, we're in the digital public meeting portion. The plan is to go through the bid process and have a contractor on board sometime later this summer, with construction starting early in the fall and wrapping up before the first of the year, all dependent on weather. So this concludes the presentation portion of the US 285 Safety Improvement Project, and I'll turn it back over to Monica for details on the Q&A portion of the webinar.
So we would like now to open the meeting up to the Q&A portion. to help the meeting run smoothly and allow everyone who wishes an opportunity to provide a comment and ask a question. So please use your Q&A function. We already have received 52 comments and questions already in the Q&A function. So obviously I think people have figured this out. However, if you are on the phone and you are listening in, that Q&A function is not available to you. We would like to make available that you could text your question to the following number. Text it to 719-272-1833. Please limit your comments to allow everyone an opportunity to participate. You can always ask additional questions. We just want to try to get through as many questions as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just give me a minute so that I can unmute the rest of our panelists. Thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I think I'm just going to start at the top and work the questions down. What? Okay, so we do have a first question. When and where will the traffic studies be completed? When and where will the traffic studies be completed? So I don't know if one of our people, yeah, can take that.
The question is, when and where are the traffic studies being completed?
So I think they're looking at like the elementary school of 440 students and 5,000 homes are accessed from Interstate 43A. So they're trying to find out where we've been doing the traffic studies.
Oh, okay. So along with when we take a look at removing a signal, we want to make sure the local network has capacity. So based on current day volumes, there's more than exceedingly capacity in the morning and the PM for local networks. And then once we satisfy that, we look at 285. So removing the signal, what does that do to our gaps? Do we create gaps? We remove big platoons of vehicles that prevent turning movements and merging movements. And yes, by removing the signal, we're going to create a lot more gaps and less big platoons and queues. Did I answer that question?
I think so.
Okay.
So, sorry, there's, let me go back to the Q&A. There was some, okay, what is the plan to improve and upgrade the frontage roads, especially the one that joins 43, so that it is adequate to safety and efficiently handle the major increase in traffic as both local and tourist traffic attempts to access local businesses and Highway 285 once they're no longer able to access via the current intersection?
So that's a great question. So I can speak to County Road 43 and Delwood. We looked at the volume capacity by removing the signal and diverting traffic over there. So Delwood came out to about a 0.3, 30% of its capacity was used. And that assumed a pretty big number that doesn't exist today. I don't know if we'll ever see it, but it was pretty conservative. And the interchange will always process more traffic than a signal light can. So there was no need to compare an interchange to a signal. We just looked at the capacity of local streets.
Okay. Has this decision been made prior to this meeting?
So I think one of the good things we're going to post on our website, it should be up there, is the link to the 2004 environmental assessment. And so that's a big study that was done in 2004. And looked at just part of 285 along a larger section of 285. And so a lot of things that we're doing here today kind of align with that master planning document. Not exactly. I think we're really taking a look at safety first. And that was our biggest concern. How can we improve the safety? And then are we going outside the EA? And so, yes, we're improving safety significantly, and it does align with that.
Has a traffic study been completed and is it available?
Yeah, we could put it up there. It's going to be hard to interpret, but we could throw it up there.
Okay. I'll get that on the website tomorrow. Are there any plans now or in the future for US 285 between Bailey and Shawnee?
That's a great question. So that spans multiple. Well, not in the near term, not that I know of. But I don't know all our funding scenarios. I'm unaware of anything significant improvements. Maybe some asset maintenance efforts will be done.
Will this project include refinements at CR 64 intersection near Conoco and Moore Lumber?
More lumber. Where? Oh, is this me? So I think the reference is to the curve in Bailey, right? So we're going to slow down the speed and move the passing lane and add an acceleration lane out. So yes.
Okay. Have fire mitigation issues been considered?
Yeah, we had a long talk with the chief of police on Delwood. We shared our analysis with him, showing the highest peak hour of the road, volume-wise, and what that looks like, and showed him what he had today. And so we talked about what the state does for firehouses in general, and that's including signing and flashing beacon. And he seemed okay, and I told him we could talk to the county with that and help get that done.
So the next question is, what public input have you gotten from the residents of Bailey? I can help a little bit with that. We've gotten quite a bit of public input from them, but I think where we're really looking for everyone to give their feedback is in the survey. So that will be what we'll be looking at very closely is a look at the survey for the residents for their input there. Do you have anything to add?
No, I think part of that EA document on the 285 project site, you're going to see a lot of stakeholder feedback in that document also. So we're talking 16 years of engagement. So yeah, there's been a lot of outreach.
So we did get a text phone message, and it's conflict points at CR 43A. You show where they are to drive times. Don't consider waiting times when stopping at the underpass coming from the Loaf and Jug back to Rosalie Road. There will be increased traffic on CR 43 at the underpass. Any comments regarding that?
Yeah. So yeah, when County Road 43 is closed down, all that traffic will go to the interchange. Though these are all free movements, right? You don't stop at Delwood or 72. You progress. You have to yield to, I guess it would be northbound 72 traffic. That's pretty light traffic. So pretty much just get on the interchange without impedance.
How did you come up with the safety issue?
Yeah, so we constantly watch our accidents all throughout the region. And we have a really good, robust analysis software that we can use to pull accident data and look at mitigating countermeasures and what the benefits are. So this one was a pretty easy one to do. Anytime you take out a signal, you're reducing those conflicts. So you're increasing safety exponentially. So We could share that too, if it would help. I don't know if it would be easy to read, but we'll share it.
So how do conflict points or accidents in Bailey compare to merges in Richmond Hill, Conifer? Are those points being considered? To confirm, you are referring to studies from 16 years ago?
Yeah, so Richmond Hill has that really short acceleration lane, right? Especially northbound. It's something we're looking at right now. We have our eyes on it. Accident-wise, 48.3 is much more, has a lot more accidents.
So website says free right turns at County Road 43A allows for improved traffic flow. Is this right turns for northbound and southbound some sort of passover or under?
So it's actually just gonna be, and I could go back to that plan sheet real quick. But it's actually just gonna be restriping that intersection to allow, the current lane. So this is when we remove the intersection here, since there isn't any, left out and left in, it allows us to just make this, southbound to County Road 43 a free right, and then this, southbound out of County Road 43 a free right, and it will turn into, a continuous lane after that turn.
How will this impact the business at 285 and 43A?
That's a great question. So good access promotes good businesses. So there's a lot of studies done on that also. You can post that for people's reading. Okay. I think we can share some good studies on it.
Okay. Have you thought about a compromise to turning off the lights on weekends between Memorial Day and Labor Day?
No, that seems really unsafe. I wouldn't, no. So anytime you allow free permissive left turn, especially in high-speed roadways, the potential to get hurt or worse goes up. So no, I wouldn't consider that.
If you get off the Deer Creek exit from 285 southbound and turn left, it is hard to see cars coming under the bridge. If you remove the red light at Highway 43, do you plan on putting one at the above mentioned off-ramp?
Do you want to go back to your design, Laurel, and show the extension? Laura might be having some connection issues.
Yeah.
So we are extending that acceleration lane and really pulling one lane back. So we've reduced one merging area, toppled onto another merging area, and really extended that run out length to Excel to get onto 285. So I think that's going to be a huge improvement. I think people are going to feel it quickly.
Has the impact of the new lodge at Lone Rock been considered?
I assume that's the teacher retreat, probably. Heard about it. No, I can look into it. I don't know too much about it.
How will you handle the Pine Junction light? Seems like the traffic will back up all the way to Roland Valley Exchange, making it difficult to go from Roland Valley to southbound 285 during heavy traffic.
Yeah, so that's the crux of working for CDOT. You can't fix everything at the same time, right? So if we could do this, we could fix Pine, we could fix Kings Valley, we could do Schaefer's Crossing. And then we could start working our way south. There's a lot of improvements in passing lanes, chain up, chain down. There's a lot of planned improvements for 285 that need to get done. Pine Junction is definitely on the radar. That's going to be a really sensitive solution. I know it's called for grade separating. I think it's not that simple. So I think some local network, the streets are going to have to be realigned or reworked, and that's going to be a really expensive undertaking. So, yeah, this is a fairly low cost, high benefit safety project. That's where we focus.
I think we're just gonna go, I'm gonna ask this question again because I think people are confused about this and maybe Laurel can go through this again. So it says, we're talking about the 40 removal levy. At the meeting several months ago at the fire station, several local residents noted that the only way they can safely enter or leave 285 to get out of it into their access roads is by taking advantage of the breaks in 285 traffic allowed by the light at 43A. For them to go to the 72 on-ramp would take them literally several miles out of their way, which simply is neither practical nor feasible. They require those periodic breaks to be safe. How do you propose to allow for safe entry onto or exit from 285 on those roads if you take out the light?
Laurel, do you want to go back? Are you with us?
Yeah.
Can you go show your acceleration lane slide for northbound 285 from 72?
That's the slide you want?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the improvement here?
Yeah, so if you're coming out of 43A, maybe easier to see on the overall slide. But if you're coming out of 43A, this will just be a single continuous lane. So you don't have to worry about merging to get off and to go northbound. You could also, merge over and go south to Bailey as well. And then this Excel lane here has been extended, so it'll make it safer to merge into traffic in that area as well. Does that kind of answer?
Yeah, the existing way is really this hodgepodge because you drop a lane on 285 before you merge here. So there's just a lot of turbulence here. So I think that creates a weird dynamic in itself. So by moving that merge point further south prior to the bridge, and then adding a parallel acceleration lane for a longer length, I think it smooths things out quite a bit.
Will there be an acceleration lane in section A for CR 64 in downtown Bailey? This is currently a very difficult right turn on Sundays in the summer.
Or 64.
At the end of the city, across the post office, I see.
So right now, is this 64? No.
Yeah, it's across the street, right? So it wraps behind between the brewery and the gas station. Yeah.
So yeah, we're not. We're really just continuing this single lane all the way through until the needed links for the deceleration lane for this first access. We haven't added an acceleration lane for this area. My reasoning behind that is I was concerned that people were coming through here would see that lane as a passing lane and actually use it to pass instead of as an XL decel lane. That was my biggest concern in that one.
So I've gotten a couple more text questions. Regarding lack of signage on northbound 285, is there a proposal to include signage to direct the public to the local and new businesses on 43A, Rosalie, and 72?
So the project will be replacing some of the signage through the area. I believe, and Tucker, I think, can weigh in on this, but there's signs that you could apply to have put up. But inside the region, we don't mess with those. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jason?
Yeah, there's logo signs that do direct advertisement on our signs, but then there's also blue destination signing that is part of this project. So
And yeah, the
gas,
destination signs are putting up.
yeah. So general gas, yeah. Service signing, it will be part of this project. Direct, we're asking people to get off a little bit earlier. So yeah, we will get that done.
What is your plans for the signal at Pine Junction if you want a signal-free 285?
Well, no. No, so this goes back to that EA document. So at Pine Junction, it is a pretty separated area. So that's the plan on the books.
Okay. And I don't know if this, Richmond Hill Road and Pine Junction are the major problems. I realize funding is a problem, but how about a toll?
Oh, I'm a public servant. I don't get into the tolling stuff. No. So sure. Yeah, that's beyond this project. I couldn't answer that.
Will this change include changes to the Park County roads to undo those changes that send traffic down 43A, 43 should be a continuous flow to and from the homes to 285 with the reduction to number of stop signs making the flow traffic clear past the fire station. So the question is, will this change include changes to the Park County roads?
No, we are, of course, talking to the Park County Public Works, and we're working with them to identify any kind of solutions and reviewing. But we're supporting them as much as we can. But no, this project's not going to do any improvements to county roads.
Won't this plan just create new conflict points on 285?
No.
Okay. Have you considered a flyover at 285 and 43A to help merges and reduce conflict points?
No, we want people to use 43A, the interchange. And so so instead of building a flyover, just utilize the bridge you have already.
What infrastructure is proposed for Delwood Drive and the north side of the overpass?
So this project's not going to improve any county roads. We did do a quick assessment of traffic control devices and how it's controlled, and we shared our thoughts with the county, supporting them on whatever they want to do.
How will the northbound public easily get access to businesses on 43A? So
again, think about, I don't think there's any change. I think there's a huge improvement. So if you think you can get off 43 and then just get back on without stopping, I think that's a huge improvement. You've almost reduced your small trip time considerably. So there's no signal to get queued in. There's nothing to wait. You get your free acceleration lane. That becomes the added lane until it drops south of the bridge.
Thank you. So I just wanted to point out that we're taking questions in the Q&A function, but we're alternating with questions that are coming in by text. If we don't get to all the questions, we will post them on the FAQs on the project website. I just wanted to bring that up because I think people may get worried that we're not going to get to their question. So let me continue. How many crashes are we talking about at 285 and 43 from 2015 to 2019?
Yeah, so it's in excess of 30 crashes, and that's signals. So those are crashes directly related to the signal. Overall accidents, including fixed objects, wildlife, are much higher. So it depends on what you're looking for.
I feel like you're focusing on through traffic, people traveling through Bailey, and not focusing on the people who live in Bailey and access these roads. How do you propose to making 285? How do you propose to accessing 285 from 43A?
Yeah, hopefully our presentation answered those questions.
Yeah.
You know, CDOT is not, we're worried about all highway users and the safety of anyone who uses our roads. And so, again, we're really focusing on improving safety and reducing crashes. And this project is going to be successful to that end. So we don't consider local residents and commuters when it comes to safety and highway users. There's not a difference. We just look at the crashes and how to mitigate those. And those are a good solution that doesn't degrade anybody's quality of life. And here I think we found that shining light.
Will the barriers prevent Rosalie from turning southbound onto 285? If so, how will they access southbound 285?
So I think that hopefully that slide that I had with the design there had answered that question. But the median barrier will actually stop prior to the intersection at Rosalie. It'll stop so that people turning south on Rosalie will be able to turn. They'll have a resting area in the median that they can safely rest in while they're waiting for gaps in traffic.
Thanks for reviewing that again. Sorry, I'm going through these questions and some of them I thought we had answered. So, has an analysis been done on snow removal with the median barrier installed? If it is a concrete barrier, as it is in Turkey Creek Canyon, the snow builds up along the barrier and is shaded, causing ice conditions.
Yeah, so in Turkey Creek, you have two bridges you have to get over with the new barrier that was built in 2006. So here, the lane's narrow enough that we don't have to spill to the left. We can actually pull to the right. So hopefully won't create any big problems for ice or snow buildup.
What solution for traffic entering US 285 from Roland Valley Drive north of Rosalie Road and the new teachers retreat?
I need to look into that. There's no planned improvements that I'm aware of.
With both options, traffic can relieve itself as far as wait times go. I think that's a comment.
Could you repeat that?
Sorry, I have to find it again. I have
Sorry.
Yeah, we have 99 plus questions and comments, so I might have.
Yeah, it's faded in and about halfway through, so I didn't hear the whole thing.
I don't see it now. I'm just gonna go on and I'll try to find that. Northbound traffic sometimes will never clear for left turns, especially on Sundays in the summer. How do you handle that?
So northbound traffic never clears. So I assume this is Rosalie, right? I assume. So northbound 285 never clears for the left. So, yeah, and that's weird. I would assume southbound would be the one that doesn't clear, because with the light you would queue back, right? And so that queue stacked past Rosalie. So remove the light, traffic will flow past, create your gaps. I've heard the concern about northbound 285. That's where we get our gaps. And so looking at our peak hour volumes, if we don't bunch everyone together, queue them at the light, I think you're going to see a lot of gaps.
And then I have the same kind of comment. The traffic signal causes pulses in traffic so that people wanting to turn along the road had breaks in traffic flow. How do you address that? Yeah, so that kind of goes. And so, right. So the brakes, you're creating platoons. That's what signals do. And so when you have a very random alone signal, you create a bigger problem when the volumes exceed the capacity of the signal. And so removing the signal actually creates more gaps, right? So everyone's not slowing down and crawling through the signalizing itself. The next question, Jason, I think you probably already addressed with putting studies on the website, but it said, I would like to know how this is designed to help local residents using 43A when the traffic is bumper to bumper with no room to merge. It seems that this new routing is designed more for tourists and through traffic than for residents. It appears that that wasn't what I started reading. I was looking for something about the businesses. Someone had sent something about the businesses, and I think that you said we have some good information that we can put on the website, correct? Correct. Okay. It says, will you be extending the northbound exit onto 72 to avoid traffic backups on 285? Right. So there currently at Delwa, there's a stop sign for that movement. So no improvements to the county roads. So sorry. So if the overwhelming majority of citizens complete the survey and they do not want the light to be removed, will you listen to the residents? That's a great question. I think we're going to take everyone's responses, we're going to group them together and really get some good data. If there's something we've overmissed or didn't think about, I think we're going to take a look at it. And then ultimately, we're going to share it with everybody and allow the decision makers to make those decisions at that. Oh, here's a question, if I can. And I think I know the answer, have all the CDOT employees on this call driven the area that will be affected? I know I have. Yes. And I think I've done it on a Sunday. You know, the whole CDOT project team is part of the US 285 coalition. And I'm not sure the composite of that or how that started. So it's a collection of community members and business leaders in the Bailey area. So we're very sensitive to them, and we're talking with them, and yeah, we're very vested for the 285 corridor. There's a big desire to do a lot of improvements here. There's not a lot of funding. I'm sure you guys have heard. But it doesn't mean we're not going to stop taking a look at everything and making any improvements that we can. So we are right now at 7 o'clock, I believe. You know, I don't know if Laurel, Pepper, Jason, if you want to look at the Q&As and just see if there's one that stands out that you want to answer.
Okay.
Oh, I did, yeah. So we did get some inputs about great job explaining the new plan. So please feel free to continue to reach out to us with questions. And like I said, we will be putting a Q&A up on the website to answer your questions. And in the meantime, we would love if you would take the survey.
So I have a quick one. So somebody had asked if I'm traveling southbound on 285 and want to turn left on Rosalie, how do I do that? We're actually not going to be modifying the decel lane for the Rosalie exit. So you'll still exit it the same way.
Thank you.
Monica, we're also getting a lot of comments that the survey link isn't working correctly. Is it up?
It is up.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple on here.
Okay, I will just, if you guys can give me like 20 minutes after I get off the call to make sure everything's working. But we tested it this afternoon and had one response. So I will try that again. I will be sending the link out again in a thank you to everyone that's on the call. So I will make sure that that link is working. Okay, anything else that anybody before we sign off? So I did want to say, thank you for participating tonight. I know this is all new to all of us, and we do really appreciate people taking their time and watching the presentation and asking the questions. We want to make sure that we are communicating what we want to do, what these safety improvements are going to look like, so that everyone understands what they're going to look like. We encourage everyone to provide their input by taking the online survey. Give me like 20 minutes and I'll be sending you a thank you with that survey link working. We just want to for being part of this process. We also will have the survey link up on the website tomorrow around noon. We also will have the recorded presentation on the website. That's it for now, and thanks again. Really appreciate it.